There are people who are afraid to leave their church because they know if they leave, they're not going to be in fellowship with those people anymore. You were my groomsman. You were my best man. You stood up and gave a speech at my birthday, but because I left the church, you're no longer in my life. What? So the first point is don't put pastors too high, we're servants. The second point is if we are servants, by implication, that means pastors are not your masters. No pastor can dictate what you can do in life. Just look to your neighbor and say, what? One sign a pastor is operating like a master is they'll tell you that God will speak to them first before he speaks to you. Like, I'm bishop, you must do as I say. Like, God will tell me if you need to leave. God will tell me who you need to marry. See, here's the issue. We're all believers. We're all filled with the same spirit. And there's no way a leader can justify scripturally that God would speak to them first before talking to you. Now, let me balance this out. A pastor is an advisor. In the multitude of counselors, there is safety. So a pastor can have fatherly concern for you, but he cannot dictate your life. We cannot control you. We can't control who your friends are. We can't control who you date. Like, I've even seen pastors forbid members of the church from speaking to people who left. What? Shepherd the flock of God that is among you. Right, that's leadership. Exercise and oversight. Leadership. Not under compulsion, but willingly, as God would have you. Not for shameful gain, but eagerly. Not domineering over those in your charge, but being an example to the flock. We're not to domineer. We're not to be a dictator to you. We're not to demand what you do. We're to be an example and to give you options for what you do in life. What we're supposed to do is feed you with knowledge and with understanding, so that when you meet a boy, when you meet a girl, you make the right decisions. Or if you decide to go to a conference, what you've received from this church, you can sit in that conference and go, no, there's something off with this. Let me keep it stepping. We can't dictate whether you go to that conference or not. We can warn you, we can advise you, we can give you options, but we cannot tell you what you need to do. So if we sense danger, we'll tell you what we think, but we cannot dictate what you do. Whilst there are extremes, that doesn't mean we can't rebuke you. Like, I function in the ministry of rebuke. If you would notice, most of my preaching is correction. I am a rebuker in Jesus' name. So don't put me too high, I'm a servant. But don't put me too low, because me being your servant doesn't make me your errand boy. I'm not your houseboy. I'm not a pushover. And don't think you can talk to me crazy. My position to you is leader, but my attitude towards you is service. Jesus said, follow me, that's leadership. But he was among them as one who served. So Jesus still got down and washed their feet even though he was their leader. So you're not going to talk to me crazy. I'm going to serve you, but I'm still a leader here. And the Lord assigned me to serve you. There are